how difficult is it for them to be aware, conscious, and mindful of the dynamics of the relationship?
Yes, that's a very good point. It's very, very difficult. It's one of the biggest challenges I see in the clients that I work with. It's being stuck in the head and not feeling their emotions, right? So, how can you feel your partner's emotions if you cannot feel your own? So, it's a very good point, Terrain, and it all comes back to self-transformation. Like, I help save marriages only by working with the men. How is it possible? Most therapists say you need to work with both. It's called couple counseling, right? But we see it again and again. When the one of the partners change, it doesn't have to be the man, but I work with men, right? So when the man is changing, he is transforming himself. He is balancing his polarities within. He starts to feel his own feelings. The other will replicate, fall in line, follow suit, because it is polarity. It's like a magnet being pulled into it. And like you are like the people you spend most time with. So they will start to reflect this like a mirror, right? So it requires only one person to do the inner work, the self-development, the transformation, and then the relationship and marriage will change. And that start with feeling your emotions. Yes, it's true. Society have, not accepted men to feel their emotions since kindergarten, right? Man up, don't cry. And so it is scary for a lot of men to do that. It requires a lot of courage to face those emotions, because we feel like I cannot be, not hysterical, but just I cannot be emotional and still be a man. So we have to really like go in and look at all these beliefs that we acquired since kindergarten, school, upbringing, being bullied, being with the tough guys and trying to be someone, right? So we really have to look at because they're still in the subconscious mind somewhere inside of there, right? So we have to look at them, make peace with all these beliefs, start to tap into where are our emotions that have been blocked and buried inside of our bodies, and to start to bring them up and feel them again, because that's the only way. Like if we're really going to be like, women are complaining again and again over the years. I've seen it like, I can't feel my man. I don't know, like he's physically there but not really present emotionally. And where's all the good men at? Women dating, right? So they want men that can feel. It doesn't mean that you're going to be hysterical and throw tantrums. That's not it. But it's about saying like, hey, I had a tough day today and I feel sad. And you can say it with very, in a very masculine way. It doesn't mean anything. It doesn't mean that you're feminine or weak. No, it means that you're actually strong. The stoicism is all about accepting both, your highs and your lows. And so that is a big part of the work that I do, of just like feeling your emotions, because then you can feel and be in tune with your partner's emotions as well. Good point.
Thank you. One of the first times that I can remember that I cried, it was out of anger. One of the last times that I cried, it was out of compassion and comfort. And these are two ends of that spectrum. But I highlight this because, to your point, it made me understand that feelings are so vast when it comes to what you want to experience. And one thing that I had to learn, and I'm glad that I learned it earlier on, even though 20s may be a little too late, but it's better late than never, was it's okay to tell someone how you're feeling and it's okay to be vulnerable because there's a level of trust that is earned and there's a level of respect that is earned when the person takes that information, takes your experience, takes your emotions, and says, you don't have to go through it alone. We can go through it together. I am here for you. Thank you for opening up. Thank you for sharing. And I can see some men be hesitant to do so, maybe because they're inexperienced. And then I can see some women who may be hesitant to receive because maybe they're inexperienced in receiving it. I shared earlier with you that I deal with women, so I know the other side. And there's women who would say that I wish my man would open up, like you mentioned. And then I would ask them the question, Have you created an environment for him to open up? They would ask me, how do I do that? I was like, exactly. It's a little bit more difficult for the men to open up because we're not conditioned to open up. Where women can invite Shirley down the street, hey girl, come on over, and they can cry for hours. And then afterwards they go home and they're happy. Men, when we start crying, we don't know what we're going to do with ourselves afterwards. So what's maybe some tips that you can give to the men who are maybe they want to open up, they just don't know if their woman is ready to receive what they're about to say?
Mm, it's a good point. And this requires a lot of maturity and owning up to what you want and what you need. So I always recommend to have an honest, authentic conversation and just saying, "Hey, this is what's going on right now, and I've been hearing about, just being more aware of what I'm feeling, and I'm just trying to be a better man, a better husband here." And I would like your support in this, and as I'm kind of dabbling into this and I'm trying to develop that, it would mean the world to me if you could support me in this because you know what, it's scary. And I know that sometimes you complain that you can't feel me. And I'm trying to address that right now. And I'm trying to start to tap into my emotions. So if you could help me. So here you need awareness of what you actually need to be able to communicate that. So let's say you tap into your body and you say, okay, I needed to, in those moments, to just sit down with me, maybe hold my hand or put a, arm around me and just like, let me speak without interrupting. Maybe that's the only thing you need.